So let's hop right on into that as soon as I find my display capture here and make sure it's on the correct display. For whatever reason, OBS keeps resetting it back to display 1, and I'm like, no, it needs to be display 4. Stop it, OBS. Stop it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get that swapped on over. Beautiful. So we're going to take a quick look here. Let me get zoomed in ever so slightly here. And we're just going to take a quick look here. Hello, the red user. How are you doing today? So these are the paid features in the By Blood Alone expansion. And they've added an Italian focus tree, including numerous historical, alt history, and ideological paths. Added an extensive Ethiopian focus tree. Uh-oh. I think I know what we're doing today. Well... I'm bad at this game, so that may or may not go well. We'll see. Work with or against the invaders to bring triumph to Africa. Added the Swiss focus tree and numerous mechanics to balance the favor of the major factions in your vicinity. Added take ships demand and DMZ, war reparations, resource rights, and dismantle military industry additional demands for the new peace conference system. Okay, so there's a new peace conference system. Good to know. Added an aircraft designer and dozens of new modules and an overhauled air research tree. That's a good thing. I think that being able to design your aircraft like that will be much, much better. Added unit medals and divisional commander feature, allowing you to reward medals to your unit commanders for their valor in action. Fascinating. Okay, over 20 new unit models for Italy, Ethiopia, and Switzerland. Okay, new plane models and new music tracks themed around Italy, Ethiopia, and Switzerland. In the free update, they've totally overhauled the peace conference system, working on a blind bid premise. Okay, we'll have to see how that ends up feeling. Added customizable order naming scheme with many default historical operations. Added new air wing organizations. Okay, comprising static size 100 squadrons. I'll have to see how that works. That's interesting. I don't necessarily know that that's a good thing, but we'll see. We'll see how that works. Air wings can now be grouped into air groups, presumably working kind of like army groups. Added the air theater UI to manage air groups and assignments. So a lot of focus on updating the air here. Cool. The air was kind of feeling a little behind. Kind of like how Navy is too, but significant rebalance of many aspects of the naval module. War support system overhauled. Cool. War propaganda will now offset the effects of war support and cannot be used to gain war support indefinitely. Probably good. Added new historical branches for the Italian focus tree. Yeah. You're now able to compare stockpiled designs against designs you're building. High Intel will allow you to compare foreign designs in the same manner. You can now view the logistics screen for your allies and subjects. Added career profile medals, achievement, and achievement points, sure. And added mod support for career profile. Okay. And then there's a bunch of balance changes here. Wow, a lot of balance changes. We're probably not going to go too deep into these. Reduced base ship supremacy, increased submarine visibility, so submarine nerfs, sure. Yeah. Gameplay changes here. Some naval supremacy rework stuff there. Stability and performance is always nice, but this isn't as bad as like Stellaris in terms of its late game performance, so that's okay. UI changes, sure. Modding changes, not too concerned about any of that. Database changes, always interesting. And AI changes, okay. Let's see what they've got here. They'll no longer be able to hire invisible advisors. Okay, sure. Mostly it looks like bug fixes. Primarily. Cool. And then some miscellaneous changes here that we're not necessarily going to be too concerned about. Okay. Sounds great. So let's hop on over. And it sounds like the primary changes have been made to Ethiopia, Switzerland, which we're probably not going to look at here, and Italy. So let's just hop directly in, and we'll create a new game. There are no games to continue here because we're on the new version. We could theoretically try to load in the Australia game, but that would be a terrible idea. We're going to go back to the menu, and we're going to do a new game here. Now I'm going to start early on because we know that we need to fight the Ethiopian War. So we're going to select that scenario, and I'm going to try to play as Ethiopia here. I'm very bad at this game. We'll see how it goes. Perfect. Do we want to go with historical AI focuses? No, of course not. Why would we want that? Cool. So let's see how this goes. I'm guessing not well here on this first attempt here anyway. We'll just see. So this is how we start. We've got some unassigned divisions here, or actually just the singular unassigned division. We have no national focus. We can take a look at our national focuses here in a bit. That'll be fine. We start with 300,000 manpower. Our monthly growth is grim. That is the official term that I'm going to use. It's grim. Fantastic. So in terms of actually defeating Italy here, this is going to be complicated. We're going to select everybody here and put them into a single army. And obviously we need to try to hold this line, right? That's our primary focus here, is holding off Italy. The real question, though... Oh, we have these guys down here, too. Right. I completely forgot about this section of Italy. You can tell that I have not really done this very much. I don't necessarily expect to win this right away. So we're going to try to hold off the southern flank as well. Now, one thing we could certainly check in here. Oh, my. We have one consumer goods factory. Spicy. I knew this was a difficult start, but that's a lot. Okay. Let's take a look at our production here. We're currently just producing basic infantry equipment. Okay. So what are our focuses here? We can go into military communism, into defending our homes. Division attack on core territory and defense on core territory. That might not be too terrible. Reach out to the Italians. So an offer of collaboration is sent to them, offering peace in exchange for territory. So this would allow us to essentially side with Italy over here. Alternatively, we could rally around the emperor, and all of these are mutually exclusive with each other. So rallying around the emperor would allow us to decide whether we want the emperor or not. Okay. And then there's also the second Italo Ethiopian War here. Interesting. So that gives us a bunch of manpower, just flat, as well as giving us a temporary morale boost. Renewed offensive would be pretty good. And then we can choose either the Northern Thrust or Victory in the Desert, giving us a bunch of division attack and breakthrough, either here or here. Interesting. That is mutually exclusive. And then we take mercenaries, which would give us some merc units there. And then this is our economy path. And this would be our military path. Got it. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. So obviously we have to take the Second Italo-Ethiopian War or reach out to the Italians right away, right? The Italian-Ethiopian War needs to be handled one way or another. We either need to win or we need to group up with them. Let's try winning first. If we have to restart this, we can. But let's go ahead and take the Second Italo-Ethiopian War. Cool. We have 2 research slots available. How greedy can we get with this? I feel like not tremendously. Like, I feel like we should probably take something like Construction 1, although, out of curiosity, there's no industrialization in either of these provinces. Okay. Well, technically, we don't know. We have no intel on those factories. Good to know. Oh, I'm in the wrong chat box mode here. I intended for it to be up here. Cool. Fantastic. There we go. Okay, so we are definitely going to be, like, trying to dig in along these fronts. It's going to take way too long to build land forts, right? Yeah, that's going to take, like, 7.5 months to build a single land fort at our current number of factories. So that's definitely a problem. We should try to get some divisions training here. And these are probably pretty bad divisions. I say probably. They're definitely pretty bad divisions. I'm not sure what's considered a good division these days, but sure. We've also got the Second Italo Ethiopian War going on here with the war escalation level. Italy have unlawfully invaded our homeland. Even though we are a full member of the League of Nations, the world failed to take action and view the conflict as a minor colonial skirmish. We must prove to the League of Nations that this is a full-scale war of aggression by one member state upon another, and thereby force the world to take action against Benito Mussolini. So the Christmas offensive is going to be happening. Our troops are still moving forward, but we're losing momentum. Soon the energy brought on by the counterattack will have worn off. So in 13 days, we're going to remove a bunch of breakthrough. Or Italy will lose a bunch of their breakthrough. Okay. Fascinating. Reorganizing the railway systems here would give us a bunch of supply hub construction speed. I'm not too concerned about that right now. We can't build supply hubs, but what is our logistics network looking like? I mean, yeah. It kind of exists. Kind of. I actually think I'm going to move this unit down over here instead of up here. We have significantly more numbers up here, and this is in mountainous terrain. That said, I wonder if Italy is going to directly push in or not. That Christmas offensive, I want to take a look at that. So that's something that Italy has? Not in their national spirits. Okay. If I'm reading this correctly, Italy has breakthrough bonus against us for 13 days. Okay. I'm pretty sure that's what's happening here. Now, I definitely want to assign a commander here. And this guy is an infantry officer. Max entrenchment is not necessarily bad here. Infantry division defense, though? That's probably even better because we probably don't have time to entrench. Just a flat 10% defense for these guys, but 13% for infantry for these. Now, I believe these are considered infantry. Yeah, they're irregulars. Okay. So we're going to put this guy in. Cool. And we can assign him a trait. Max entrenchment, I guess. Alternatively, we could give him infantry division attack. But we don't actually have the command power for that. So we can't do that right now. Okay. Let's see what happens here. In order to properly make this defense... Uh-huh. So the Italians are going to push us back initially, is what we expect. Down on this front, not too much is happening. The question is, do these guys arrive in time? We'll find out. The answer is a definite maybe. Okay, so I'm not sure exactly how to pull off this defense. I know it can be done. But we just need to get some troops over here. Well, I maybe should have sent that unit up this way, but they wouldn't have arrived yet. So these Italian forces, they're not dropping their organization, like, at all. That's good to know. So a hypothetical question. What if we attacked here? Does that pull off the pressure? Perhaps. We have reinforcements heading in over this way. We'd like to not be pushed back here, but it may be inevitable. You can see we're retreating over this way. We're not surprised that they're initially pushing us back like this. Not surprised by that at all. I don't think this single unit down here would have really helped up here, especially not with them actually attacking over here as well. Huh. This is undefended. Okay, so we're probably going to have to restart this a couple times, just for the record. I'm having to figure out how exactly we want to pull this off. I have a dumb idea. That is a dumb idea. That's really dumb. These guys are here. Now we can potentially take some territory over here. But we're certainly going to get pushed back over this way, and I think that that's probably not for the best. So down here, I think if we had gotten started on this a little bit sooner, the idea here would be that these guys wrap around like so and deny any supplies over here, right? So the Italians would have no supply flow to the south. I don't like this attack. I don't want to be attacking here. Okay. So the south is going reasonably well. The north, not so much. That's reasonably expected, though. So we're going to get this soon. And that will help us quite a lot, actually. Cool. So that's okay. We expect to get pushed back up here. So we're now going to get a bunch more defense against major powers. And then we could take either falling back or renewed offensive. And I think we take renewed offensive. We'll get started on that. We've now eliminated some of their supply flow over here. Cool. We're going to continue to push up there, and we're just going to try to hold this line as best we can. We will keep falling back a little bit, trading land here. Okay, they counteracted this. I'm not surprised by that. They basically had to, right? There's no real way that they could let us do that. But that's definitely very interesting. If we had started this earlier, perhaps. But I think that's relatively unlikely. I think that's definitely the play over here, is take Somaliland. Take this naval base here. And once we have that, then things would be looking pretty good. Now, how was this attack looking? Not tremendous. Okay. Regional ruler wants to produce arms. So we would get a military factory or the balance of power. Okay. So what is this balance of power mechanic? We need to look into that. Is that... I don't believe this is this. Where is our balance of power? Oh, we're not currently researching. I should definitely be doing that. Did I not choose a research? I may not have. If so, I'm kind of dumb. We'll take support weapons 1. And then probably, like, weapons one as well. We're probably going to need to restart, but I wanted to see what exactly was going on here. Now that I have some measure of understanding of how this plays out, I feel like this is reasonably okay. I don't suppose we can push in here now. We actually can. Fascinating. Well, kind of. These guys attacked. But what if we were to attack here? How are things going on this line? They're not the greatest. Okay. So we'll stop those attacks for the time being. Now, these guys have moved down here. Okay. So I think I am going to go ahead and restart this. Like I said, there would be probably multiple restarts as I learned how this is going. So let's go ahead and restart this here. And definitely a bit of a throw there was not choosing our research. But let's go ahead and try that again now that I have a bit more understanding on that. So we're going to restart that. We need to select a country. It will be Ethiopia. This does definitely feel doable. So, we need to immediately grab our national focus being the Second Italo Ethiopian War. We know that. I do want this unit, actually these units, on this front. So we're going to put them in here, and I'm going to put them in a separate army this time, with their front line being over here. Then these units are going to be in a separate army up here. Now, I do want to get some divisions recruiting here. Specifically, I want to just train these guys. We can't train this special template division, but we can add, say, 4 divisions here in our capital. Okay, so we'll get that started. And as far as our research goes, I really do think that grabbing support weapons 1 will be huge. I don't necessarily think that we should go for weapons 1 here. Perhaps we go for, like, construction 1. That would be more of an investment for after the war. Okay. So there we go. Now these guys are going to try to hold up here. They're going to get pushed back, but I want to make sure that they have that infantry division defense commander here. And this army over here, we're going to assign in simply one of these guys with the... those are hills and desert. This is all desert down here. So this desert guy would be absolutely fine. We're going to put him in there. And that'll be great. Now, his plan. Ideally, I mean, we would just do something like this, right? But that's not necessarily what we want. I'm probably going to manually order attacks down here, is I think what's going to end up happening. Cool. Now we have a free civilian factory. We could attempt to build a defense line back here. Something like this. And then just buy time to get that done. Unfortunately, with only 1 civilian factory, it's going to be so long before we even get a single fort in one of these locations. So I'm not sure how realistic that is. But what else are we going to build? I mean, there's a civilian factory. If we were to build that, that would be done in August. That's definitely too late to assist with this war. So we could try this. I don't think it's going to be tremendously successful. That said, I feel like this is going to be reasonable. Let's see how this ends up going. Bumping that up to speed 4. They're going to immediately launch attacks up here. And we're just going to try to hold as long as we can. That is our mission here. And I'm actually going to only have these be, for the moment, 1 level of land fort. There we go. Okay. So we're moving our troops in down here. I'm keeping an eye out for the ability to grab this naval base and cut down their supplies. That is the current observation point. And we don't want to go on the offensive for sure for a while. Like, until we get our second focus. So that's fine. Imagine if we had 15 factories. But we have basically no industrialization to start with, right? This is definitely a more challenging start. But we're moving a second regular infantry unit down here this time. And that unit will not be up here to help hold this line. That's understood. Okay. So we're going to get pushed out of Axum and Adwa fairly soon here. And we should be able to hold this line, I think. I hope. Let's go ahead and pop this unit over here. Why did one of our units just move out of... Or did it? I'm not sure it did. I want to move this irregular unit up here. Okay. That should make that line far more holdable. And this infantry unit can try to head here. I don't think we're going to be able to hold the Italians off to the north for too much longer. But all we need to do is get this for the time being. Yeah, we get pushed back here. That's to be expected. We do not need to attack that for the moment. All we're trying to do is hold as long as possible. Cool. Now, I'd like to see this unit walk away again, but I don't necessarily know that that's going to happen. They're having a hard time pushing into our defenses here, but at the moment, it looks like they may or may not win that. But things will be able to be stalled out up here, hopefully, once we have the second Italo Ethiopian War. And how are we doing on our training here? Well, very poorly. We need more infantry equipment. And we're producing as much as we can. We have no steel. And that is definitely a problem. Yeah, that's definitely a problem. Because we also only have the one factory, the one civilian factory. So if we trade that for steel, then all of a sudden we have no steel. How many infantry weapons do we have stockpiled? I mean, we need like 5,000 right now. We're making 4 per day. We start with none stockpiled. So we really can't get away with these recruitments. That's not something we can do. Okay. Good to know. And it's looking like we may be pushed back over here, but there's our focus finishing up. So we're going to grab renewed offensive. Cool. So the threat to the north is definitely the higher threat. There's no doubt about that. Unfortunately, I think we're going to get pushed back out of Wall pretty soon here. Pretty sure that we will. Yes. And this widens our front line to a point of almost untenability. Okay. So the south is definitely going markedly worse this time than it went last time, which I find interesting, considering that we sent an additional infantry unit down. And the north is going a bit better. Fascinating. Well, we'll continue waiting here for a bit. We definitely are going to need a whole lot of basic infantry equipment. And one of our big bonuses here would be getting our war escalation level up. Okay. Renewed offensive would be very, very good. But lack of supplies is definitely going to be an Achilles heel in this. So the question is, what can we do to optimize this? Well, obviously this fort is pointless. Italy declared war on the Sultanate of... Okay, that's these guys over here. So we now have these guys on our side. They're probably going to fall as well. Pretty quickly here. They want a non-aggression pact? Sure. We definitely accept that. We're definitely doing a lot better in the north. Locals are complaining about mistreatment. So we could gain base stability or political power here. We're going to take the political power, I think. And we could grab, like, exhort heroism. We could try that. Grabbing some additional war support. And we're just going to continue to fall back a little bit here and there. Now, it's very clear to me that this isn't going to be relevant. So that's definitely not the move here. I think the move has to be trading that single factory for steel. Because otherwise we're just going to have way too few infantry equipment. I think that's very clear at this point. Fascinating. But this definitely feels doable. So there's renewed offensive complete. And the Rhineland has been remilitarized. I think we go for northern thrust here. I think that's what we do. So we'll grab northern thrust, and we'll look to push them back over here. Turkey has remilitarized the Turkish Straits, and Alsa's going to fall very soon here. That's fine. So we can see that the Italians are definitely being chipped down a little bit. But not as much as we are. And the primary purpose for that, I think, is boiling down to supplies. We definitely need more production here. Hypothetically, if we were to trade for steel, how much would we end up getting? So we trade from, say, France. Yes, I'm aware I won't be able to construct. How much does that actually increase our production by? Not a ton is the answer. Not an absolute ton. So once Northern Thrust finishes, we'll start trying to push out over there. Alsa's trying to send us basic infantry equipment. We absolutely accept that. I doubt that they can really hold it. But sure. Like, I doubt they can afford that. But better that we get it than Italy does when they take them over. So that seems fine. Okay. So this time we're holding in the north. We're not holding so much in the south. That's for sure. But there have been some lessons learned here. So our offensive would begin in 15 days, hypothetically. So we would have these guys. They would simply look to offensive line like this. Now, we're not going to tell them to attack that yet. Not yet. We're getting pushed back in the south. But we're holding in the north. And that's exactly what we want for the moment. We want to hold as long as we can in the south, although this line is becoming substantially worse for us, and I'm not sure if we're going to actually succeed in lasting long enough here. We'll see. Ooh, they managed to grab this area? That's surprising to me. I guess we just didn't have anything there. This line is now pretty untenable as well. So I definitely think that having more supply production is going to be important. Yeah, we lost our civilian factory there. So I definitely think that's what we need to do. That's an adaptation that we can certainly make. Yeah, and they're just heading in over this way at this point. Also falling there is tough. But there's the northern thrust ready to go. So we are going to aggressively attack them here. And see just how much difference that makes. Okay. Good to know. Very good to know, in fact. So, we're going to try it again here. And we have a couple of optimizations to make. Cool. Like I said, we're going to be restarting this several times as I try to figure out how this start is intended to work. Cool. So let's try this again. It's definitely not the simplest start in the world. We absolutely do have to trade away for the steel. That is very much the case. So we will immediately trade for steel with France. Step 1. We cannot build buildings. Yes, we're aware of this. I want all of these guys down here holding the line against Italy. And these guys up here holding the line against Italy. So, how long can we hold them off for, is the question. We already know that it's not forever, but I want this guy, or actually, this is mountains up here. Would we be better off having this guy be in charge? Movement plus 5% might do it. Attack and defense of 10%. Oh, and then this one would be desert. Because this is almost all desert down here. So it'd be something like that. Okay. So obviously we need to have the second Italo Ethiopian War. By the time we get to falling back, I feel like that's, I don't know, maybe that is the way to go. It kind of depends, though, on how this offensive plays out. And that's a little bit random, for sure. This 249 days is not going to come in time. We can maybe find something to get faster. But honestly, I don't think there is anything to get faster. So support weapons 1. And I think we go for construction 1 isn't going to be all that helpful. Maybe just increase our production efficiency cap. But we're definitely going to be sending more units of basic infantry to the front line, doing it this way. So we're going to get attacked up here, and we will immediately take a few losses. We're going to be attacked down here eventually as well. I'm noticing that this guy starts with basically no organization. What happens if we launch an attack on this side? Interesting. That might buy us a little bit of time to move troops down. Now, obviously, this is going to be a bit of a problem, but it'll take them a while to grind through those mountains. And if we're being offensive over this way, that might end up being okay. I want this infantry unit in here, and this infantry unit... Okay, that one's actually coming in here as it is. Let's send you up over here. Cool. So these regular units will arrive eventually. We're going to take hits up here. Guaranteed. And as you can see here, we already have a huge deficit of basic infantry equipment. Okay. So, this offensive here is interesting. I'm not sure how useful it really is. We'll see. It might be quasi-useful, I suppose. Okay, up in the north, we've been pushed back over here. That's to be expected. We will continue trying to hold this. Emphasis on trying. When Ausa falls, this line just becomes too wide. So that's the core problem there. And yeah, you can see here, we're retreating. Okay. I mean, if we can take Mogadishu, that would be huge. But I kind of doubt it. This attack here is quite threatening to us. I'm going to move a single unit of irregulars over to help hold this. But our core issue is still and always going to be our lack of basic infantry equipment. That said, we did gain ourselves the Second Italo Ethiopian War, which is good. We're going to grab Renewed Offensive. I am kind of leaning towards this attack down here being bad. Yeah, they're moving to get the Sultanate of Ausa. We can take a look here. Yeah, there's not really anything we can do there. Okay. So we're just continuing to fall back over here. They submitted to Italian demands this time. So that is not necessarily good. I want to change our front line. There we go. So this front line is quite a lot wider. To some degree, this start might depend on what happens here. To some degree. What level of degree that is another question. These attacks over here are not going terribly. So that's definitely something to note. Renewed Offensive is still quite a ways away from being done. "19 days. Fascinating. Now, unfortunately, this is now a very long line. And one that I think we're going to be a little bit hard-pressed to hold. Especially with how slow going this is. If we can free up the south, that would be a big deal. No doubt about that. This over here is what is currently very grim. We don't really have any reinforcements to toss over here. If we'd had a little bit more time with Ausa not capitulating, that could have been different. And these cavalry are still not retreated. Okay, there we go. So now they're retreated. Cool. I wouldn't mind walking over, like, here. Surrounding this force. We'll see how that ends up going. But I am currently thinking, yeah, we just lost our civilian factory. I think the war is pretty much over here again. Again, I need to figure out how exactly this works. But I think that this attack over here is... I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing yet. Obviously, Ausa just giving up is bad for us. That's obviously very bad for us. Okay. So we can pin this unit in here. And what we're really interested in is getting the south... Oh, okay. That is a German civil war. Exciting. We're going to grab a victory in the desert, I think. But I'm not sure that we'll get there. Turkey is remilitarizing. Okay. So this front line is now linked up. Which isn't necessarily what we want at all. Cool. Obviously, this is a very complicated start. This up here is going reasonably well at this point. Actually, this down here is now too. Okay. Italy now has a very wide front. Unfortunately, we're going to be losing... Like, this front is too wide for us at this point. Well, for one thing, we don't need to have this overlap being where it's at. We should definitely back off this front line to here. Okay. That will help. In fact, at this point, we should just combine all of these together and do something like this. With all of the divisions assigned to it. Select all, please. That's 20 and 21. Okay. There we go. So, hold the north has failed. Hold the south has 50 more days. But I don't think at this point that this is going to happen. I think Ausa falling without a fight there is definitely a big problem for us. Let's go ahead and try that again. And let's see how this goes. So to some degree, that's RNG. To some degree, but I don't think it's entirely that. Cool. So, we know for a fact that we grabbed the Second Italo Ethiopian War. Guaranteed. I feel like the North held better than it has previously with the Mountain Commander. So, let's go ahead and give this to the Mountain Commander again. That was this guy. I feel like he did a better job. And then the South down here is going to go to the Desert Fox. Now, we didn't make changes there. It was just, it just went a little bit worse. So I think we're going to hold off on the attack order this time. We definitely need to trade for the steel from France. There we go. I know we won't be able to build. Support weapons 1. And then the question is, what else can we get? I mean, we're not finishing our technologies, so that's definitely a thing. What else can we do here? Kind of nothing. Kind of nothing. Okay, so let's go ahead and take forward here. They're going to immediately attack up here with their Christmas offensive bonus. I suppose we could, yeah, we don't have any operatives. Okay. We don't have any planes. We don't have... We're landlocked. Our options are quite limited. So I'm not going to attack over here right now. I want to get defensive bonuses. And we'll attack down here later. So we can immediately see we need a lot of reinforcement of our infantry equipment. That's for sure. Cool. So we just need to slow them down as much as we can advancing this direction, and hopefully Ausa will also join. And we can try to help Ausa, potentially. So they're starting to attack us down here now. I don't expect them to succeed. So that should be fine. We can send this infantry unit down here immediately. And the reason for that is because this is currently undefended. Okay. So we're going to get pushed back here, expected. We're going to hold the line over this way. We're immediately getting attacked here. But the irregular unit is going to come in as well. This is not holding. Okay, so we basically need to have one of our infantry units on this flank, is what that ends up meaning. That's a little bit unfortunate. Well, maybe it's going to hold. No, I don't think it is. I think we're going to get pushed out of here. So we do need one of those infantry units up here. Now, by default, it sends an infantry unit to this center position. But we're going to have to move it up, which is sad. So up we go. Cool. We should arrive there pretty soon. And now we can hold that. Now, holding here is going to be much more complicated. We're trying to entrench in right now. How are things looking in the north? Okay, they're going reasonably. Not tremendously well, but they're going okay. Cool. So there's the Second Italo Ethiopian War. We still don't want to attack here. We could take falling back, but I don't necessarily think that that's the way to go here. It is an option. I still want to take renewed offensive because I feel like there's a pathway there. So for the moment, we're just chilling on this front. On the northern front, we're being heavily attacked up here. We would very much like to hold this line. I feel like we don't need all of these guys here. They'd be better served being here, but it may be too late. We're going to head over and see how that ends up going. How are things going in the south? Mediocre is the answer. Okay. So our defenses in the south are definitely, like, we're fighting in desert, right? So that's a little bit tougher. Hello, Shadow Wolf. There's no doubt about that. These irregulars are pretty crappy as well. Really crappy, in fact. They do require basic equipment. That lack of equipment is our primary Achilles heel here. No doubt about that one. If we have to give up a little bit of terrain in the south, we can. But we would need these guys to fall back if we lose here, I think. Because the danger there is they attack here and isolate this force, right? That would indeed be the danger. Okay. Yeah, that lack of supplies is tough. No doubt about that. That's for sure. Very, very tough indeed. So we get pushed back here. How could they fight at all with no equipment? Well, that's a good question. That is a very good question. They have some equipment, is the answer. Like, these guys, they have... we can actually look in this tooltip here. 57%, 76%. Like, they start with equipment. All we have is our starter equipment. We're going to try to retreat back here. We're going to fall back a little bit. Okay, so they declared war here. We would like to immediately ask for military access, which they now accept. And ideally, we would assist them like this. Now that extends our line. And I'm not sure how useful that really is. But probably better to fight with them than to not. Now we're getting pushed back heavily in the desert here. These guys are falling back, and I think that's reasonable. I'd like to take these guys over. These guys are falling back to here, which I think is fine. Okay. Boy, these are a lot slower than some of those others. Like, these guys got here a lot faster. Don't attack that, please. Not just yet. Okay. So when are these guys going to arrive? Unfortunate. There's also an event that gives us a military factory, which I feel like is very useful. But also kind of complicated to have that happen with RNG. Please don't fall back quite that far. Okay. Come back in here. And let's bring this singular unit in to help defend this. I don't really want to be attacking here. Please don't attack. Okay, Civil War in Germany. We now just got renewed offensive. So we now have irregular infantry and infantry attacks plus 10. So now I want to take... Honestly, I feel like Northern Thrust is the way to go here. Is the AI on historic? No, it is not. That is why we just got a German Civil War. Okay, so do we take Northern Thrust or Victory in the Desert here? I kind of feel like Northern Thrust right now. They want a non-aggression pact. Sure. Germany embroiled in Civil War. Yes. And I wanted to also offer these guys military access. They don't want that. Okay. So they don't want to help us defend our lines. Sure. Okay. So the North is going to be awkward here, for sure. So they always are going to try to push down like this, right? That's going to be a thing. But for the moment, I feel like we're doing quasi-okay here. Quasi-okay. This is a problem. Our major issue, I think, right now is it takes a very long time. Well, other than supplies, right? Supplies is obviously our major issue. Like, if I were to... I know it's possible to cheat in supplies. If I were to do that, this would be a whole lot easier. No doubt about that. We could probably win this pretty easily. I might actually do that a little later on just to show how big of a deal not having this basic infantry equipment is. Ooh, we got pushed back here. I didn't expect that. We should assist this attack. Okay. So we're going to try to push back these Italians here. I did not want to get pushed out of this location. We're holding the north reasonably well. The south is actually holding okay as well. For the moment, anyway. What we need right now is time. We need time to get Northern Thrust into mercenaries. That would be the goal. We're getting pushed back out of Ausa, but we're making them pay for it a little bit. If we look at this, we can see that we have lost a lot more than they have, and that pretty much comes down to supplies. Pretty much in its entirety. Okay, so we're getting pushed back over here. I don't actually want to retreat there, but we just don't have other forces to send over other than like this one. That's a terrible path to go. We could do something kind of like this. And just shift our irregulars over to try to get a little bit more defensive strength here. So we can work on that. Okay. This attack is going quasi-okay, but they are moving reinforcements in. Cool. And the reinforcements arrived basically the same instant they started retreating. Hilarious. Sure, that's fine. So when does this finish up? Still another 10 days on that one. Cool. We're holding reasonably okay. These guys over here, though, this is a big, big issue. So I want to move these irregulars over here. We need to stop them from attacking. Okay, so they're going to pile in more forces here. But we just need to keep this going for another, like, 6 days. Man, I don't know that that happens. Very, very narrow margins here. No doubt about that. So we're now holding here, and we're not holding here. So at this point, we can switch our irregulars again. Okay. There we go. This is going reasonably up here. Northern Thrust will be done very soon, and that will get us a lot more division attack. Okay. Now at this point, in order to take mercenaries, we have to control, or we have to have war escalation of at least 4. Okay, what is our war escalation right now? It's currently 2. 30 more days on all of this. Now, I would like an offensive line here. Okay. The Kingdom of Poland has crowned a king. Cool. So we have a 25% bonus to our division attack over here. As far as this down here goes, it's a little bit spicy. They are currently force attacking down here. Is there anything that we can do? We could do a last stand here. Yeah, let's do it. And now, of course, we need to grab something here. We can grab the Lessons of War. And actually, that's pretty good. We can't take mercenaries yet. But we can do this. So they're on force attack, giving them 20% offense. We're on last stand, giving us 20% defense, 25% entrenchment. Just in general, we are not doing so well down in the south now, but that might turn. And how's our northern offensive going? Mediocre. Perfect. Okay. So the Lessons of War will give us a lot of stats as well. There's no doubt about that. I'm going to stop that attack. And these guys immediately come out over here. They're very low, though. So I think that might have... No, that didn't fail hold the north. We need these guys over here right now. These are also irregulars. So we should be able to win that, at least until they bring reinforcements in. Okay. This down here is an issue, but the AI is already moving over. Second London Naval Treaty. Okay. Now losing this is a little problematic as well. Now we can last stand these guys as well if we wanted to. Alternatively, a force attack over here might not be the worst concept. Last stand earlier on might have been a good call, though. How much does that cost? $8.58 command power. Okay, and it only lasts for 7 days. So we'd have to re-up it every so often. Doing that a little earlier on might have given us an edge that we needed. Spending our command power on that. Okay. So how is our escalation doing? We're currently escalation level 3. 9 days until hold the north and hold the south are done. I want this guy in here. Okay. Now this is a problem, of course. But we'll see how that goes. In the south, we will continue to last stand. In the north, we will continue to last stand. Okay. How long until hold the north is done? 4 more days. 3 more days. 2, 1, 0. Cool. So we held the north and we held the south. That puts us up to escalation level 5. That immediately means that we're able to get mercenaries, although we can't get that right now. Interesting. So now all we need to do... Okay. The government idea Italian offensive has been removed because its prerequisites are no longer fulfilled. Cool. Okay. Well, I'm not expecting to gain too much over here, in all honesty. Let's get rid of this offensive for the time being. Let's put them back on last stand to help hold this. Now we're going to get pushed out over here, for sure. And we did get stack wiped because we can't retreat. Okay. But now all we have to do is hold Addis Ababa for 6 more months. Can we do that? I don't know. I don't know. That doesn't sound all that great. But we may now request the Suez closure. Hang on, we need to look at these. We can request embargoes. Do we do this on the UK? Where's the League of Nations at? How do we do this? That's something that we should definitely be figuring out. Okay, I have no idea where we do that at. I know that we can't join factions. Do we do that just in the Italian situation here? No. Okay. So how do we do this? Presumably it would be under diplomacy somewhere. I mean, here's Italy, of course. They're not currently accept a conditional surrender. But we don't actually care about that. So it says, or actually maybe it's in these decisions. Ethiopia may request arms, and the Italian public would be concerned. Does this just automatically happen? I don't think so, because it says may request. Interesting. Well, there's the balance of power. Sure. That's probably something that we're going to have to utilize as well in some way. But where do we do these things? I would have expected them to be in here. Maybe we take it a day? That's just chilling on completed. Okay. So how exactly do we do this? Or has it already happened? Army of Africa disheartened. Okay, I think it automatically happens. Cool. So I definitely want to hold this location. That's for sure. We're going to send reinforcements over there. And I would very much like to push in offensive line. Something like this. Cool. So we're going to get started on that. As far as this down here goes, we're still trying to hold that off. But we can definitely see that these guys are overextended. There's no doubt about that. Staff office plan. Interesting. So these guys are currently retreating. And we're going to head right on back in. These guys are not actually advancing. So that's exciting. There's an attack happening here. I like that. This attack is going to take so long. That's insane. Okay. So have we requested arms? I'm not so sure that we have. So they're attacking us over here again. That's reasonably expected. How are we doing on our... Actually, that's not so bad. That's about holding firm. Cool. And Alsa is still existing as well, remarkably. It looks like Italy is not really working on attacking them. Ooh, now that's a big one. So we're going to get pushed out of here. Out of Gondar for now. All we need to do is hold Addis Ababa, though. At this point. For another 153 days, which is a long time. No doubt about that. So we've been pushed back over here now. They're doing a force attack. We'll grab some last stand defensive power. Okay. I don't know. I definitely feel like training more of these irregulars is maybe not a terrible idea. It's probably too late at this point. To be clear. But we'll see how that goes. We may yet require an additional restart. We'll see. Yeah, pushed out of this location. Expected, to be honest. Is this my first attempt? This is the first time I've ever tried to play Ethiopia. This is not our first attempt on this stream. But yeah, this is my first time attempting to win this particular war in Hearts of Iron. It's a tough one. But we're going to grab mercenaries here. And that will help us to some degree. I think. What territories do we need to hold for that? Okay. Interesting. Mercs would definitely help us a lot. There's no doubt about that. It's that lack of supplies that's really tough, though. And lack of industrialization. No doubt about that one. Okay, so we're just falling back in the south here. And for the moment, that's okay. Although, looking at the way that their troops are arranged here, that's wild. If we can push in here, that's kind of huge. Now we're going to get knocked back over this way. Another 100 days before we manage to take this. That's kind of insane. I'm going to move this force over here and try to cut off their retreat a little bit. I'm not sure if they're connected over here. I don't think they are. So we can stack wipe this unit. Easily enough. The question is, can we stop this offensive? And the answer is possibly not. And yeah, this guy is now able to be supplied. But what if we were to go up here and cut off all of their supplies? Nope, they have a bunch of troops there all of a sudden. Fair enough. Okay. I don't necessarily love this attack here. I do want to clean this up, but man. Okay, we got them. Fantastic. I don't believe this is connected. No, it is not. Okay. So I would absolutely love to go take this and stack wipe this guy. That would be great. Unfortunately, I don't believe that that's going to happen right now. This down here is going poorly. There's no doubt about that one. Nationalist Spain declared war on Spain. Okay. So they've brought some forces over here. We have bought some space and some time. So what ends up happening up here? Army morale boosted, international brigades focus unlocked, and unrest in the colonies for Italy. Mass desertions at level 8. Okay. It's definitely not simple. Those mercs are still a ways away. I don't necessarily want these guys attacking right now. Okay. So we're just trying to defend in these mountains for the moment. Now, Italian logistics are probably pretty grim up here. And we're having a much easier time defending in the north. There's no doubt about that. Our southern defenses are still a bit problematic. I want to back off here. I'd like to shorten our front line here, but that would basically require pushing forward, which we kind of can't do at this moment. So, I mean, we have no infantry equipment for getting these levies up. But getting those up would definitely help a lot. Getting pushed back here is not the biggest of deals. Okay. So the temporary morale boost is now over. That's fine. Okay. Interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. I'm definitely thinking... I feel like this may not be a successful attempt. I'm not 100% convinced of that yet, though. How long until our mercs are in? Still a while. This down here is just becoming too wide of a front. Like, we simply can't hold all of this forever. But all we need to do for now is hold Addis Ababa, right? For how long? 92 days. So we've made it about half of that duration. I don't want you attacking there. Thank you very much. Okay. So we're starting to get to the point where everybody's in mountains, and it's going to be much harder for Italy to attack us. We're going to be getting mercs in a few days here. 15, to be precise. This attack here going poorly is not great. Although, we can definitely assign a trait to this guy at this point. And... more entrenchment, I guess? I think that's reasonable. Okay. Only 11 days, 10 days until mercs come in. That will help our front. We can also assign this guy to our infantry high command. And that's probably okay. We'll go ahead and do that. That'll help us hold a little bit longer, even. Five more days. Addis Ababa is definitely not going to fall in 5 days. I can tell you that. 75? Hard to say. Depends on how many troops we get from our mercenaries here. It's 2 mercenary units. Well, 5, actually. Okay. So we got a few units here. I'm going to add 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and that gets back basically what we had. 1 down here, and then 1 more up to the north. Okay. From here, we're pretty much done with the Second Italo Ethiopian War there. So our next step would probably be to grab like this. Perhaps. Or start going for economy. We don't meet the requirements for that because all of our own states need to be controlled by Ethiopia. So we can't do that right now. There's nothing else that we can do over here. So we could start like rallying around the emperor. Or we could try to reach out to the Italians. But I don't think that that's really what we want here. We're not trying to do that. So I think we go for our military tree here. And we definitely want to get some defensive boost here. So our mercs are coming in. And we'll have enough command power here soon-ish? Soon-ish. We need 15 command power to make that happen. We're continuing to fall back in the south a bit. Well, there's our support weapons finishing up. These guys want to give us more infantry equipment. We will happily take it. At this point, we could continue going for like improved machine tools. And then in our infantry, weapons 1. We're getting a lot of boosts here. The question is, will it be enough? However, I want to try to push these guys back down over this way as we start to get our mercs in here. Cool. So we'll see about launching a few attacks down here, but it's tough. It's very, very tough. Options up over this way are very limited. How long on this at this point for holding Addis Ababa? It's pretty soon. Okay, I need you in here to help hold that. We're going to stop this attack. I think. Yes, we're going to stop this attack. You're going in here. We definitely don't want that. Okay, so they're basically right at Addis Ababa. That's not good. So my question is there a way that we can get the infantry equipment for getting all of these guys recruited? I don't know. Maybe. This is definitely a difficult war to win from the very get-go, right? There's no doubt about that, and it's intended to be that. We're holding out quasi-reasonably. But I want to attack here. And I want to have these guys support this attack. There we go. And we fell back here, which is definitely not good. We'll try to push them out of there. I want you to support this attack. Cool. We'll try to push them out of there, but I don't know that we'll succeed. Well, actually, eventually we would. In theory. Manpower is not a problem. It is supplies. These guys should definitely retreat. No doubt about that. The German Reich was annexed. Hilarious. And the German Civil War has ended. Cool. So how long on holding Addis Ababa? 40 more days. I don't know that that happens. I really don't. Okay. So we should definitely grab some infantry defense here. There's no doubt about that in my mind. We have no one defending Addis Ababa right now, which is awkward, to be sure. I'm going to move this infantry unit over. These guys can stop their attack. It's pretty clear to me at this moment that we're not going to be pushing out with what we have right now. I think a big part of it is this buff, or debuff rather, right here. Now, it's improving. There's no doubt about that. It is improving. But it's very tough. Why is no one defending our capital? Okay. We're heading over there now. No, stay here. No, stay here. Oh, he's from the wrong army. I see. We're actually going to assign him over here then. Just stay put, please. Okay. Please hold our capital. That is all we need right now. So I don't think that it's ever really intended that we straight up win this war at this point, right? I think we need to get our escalation level dropped. Why did it drop? Because they took more territory? Maybe? I'm not sure. We're going to get a bit more here. And we definitely need to be... Let's see here. Adds 2 battalions to them. Interesting. For now, we're going to go with this one, but I don't know how successful we'll be in getting that finished. We'll see. We're just slowly getting choked out here at this point, and that's the way that this war is supposed to go, right? That's the way it went historically. Only 20 more days, though, that we need to hold Addis Ababa, and I feel like we can maybe do that. I wouldn't mind retreating here to shorten our line. So we're going to pull back and shorten that line there. I don't want to attack here. Just shorten that line. We're still getting pushed back out of Harar, which is not great, for sure. So that's only going to increase our war escalation by 1. So that'll put us back at level 5. We were at 5 previously. Look at you. We're going to run Last Stand here in both of these locations to attempt to get us... Oh, what is this? An achievement, I guess? The games are concluded. Have a division reach a certain defensive total. I mean, these guys are very strong defensively in these positions. There's no doubt about that. We need to try to hold these lines as best we can. And at this point, I'm going to, I think, split these so it's half and half. There we go. And that might be something that we want to do from the beginning as well, is have our north and south be half and half in hopes of being able to crush their weaker south. Knowing that we're not going to hold the north forever, right? This is very not good. I'm going to send several irregular divisions over there to try to hold Addis Ababa. That needs to be held. For how long? For another... Oh, we actually completed it. Okay, cool. So there's our army morale boost. Division defense and organization pops up. Cool. The question is, though, can we push out? According to this, it looks like we can. I mean, if we were able to do this right now, that would be amazing. I don't know how realistic that is. We can try. The north is going to be potentially problematic. We can move this Mountaineer division over, but honestly, I think we're okay here. Maybe. We're maybe okay. Now we're trying to push back the Italians at this point. in the south. The question is, can we pull that off? International mediation focus. Okay. But this will make our irregulars quite a bit more powerful. That'll be in 15 days. And we are seeing some success pushing to the south. So that's good. The question is it enough? 10 more days on our focus here. Man, it takes us so long to push them out of there. So very long. And we have some pretty weak divisions here right now. There's no doubt about that. I'm hoping that we get the supplies for the new battalions with this. I don't know if we will or not. How are we doing on this? We're currently short 10,000 basic infantry equipment. We could go to, like, France and be like, hey, France, do you want to give us any Lend-Lease? Unfortunately, they can't do that at 9% world tension. Hey, Germany. They need 40%. Soviet Union? They won't give it to us because they don't have enough. And I'm pretty sure the US can't. Yeah. UK, I'm pretty sure they can't as well. How about Brazil? No, they need 40%. So the Soviet Union would be the ones to do that. They just don't have enough of their own, apparently. Yeah. They must have insufficient equipment. And they have strategic reasons not to support us either. So I guess that's okay. So let's finish up keeping the Chatet here. And that will be finishing up in 11 days. That should boost our irregulars pretty dramatically, I think, in terms of their power. This is not necessarily great. I'm going to send this Alpine unit over to help with that. Okay. So we've managed to grind them a bit to a halt. A bit. 25 days on this battle over here. Sure. 2 days left. Okay. So that'll give us irregular infantry organization, as well as boosting up the power level of our irregulars. Quite a lot. So from here... Additional irregular infantry defense speed and organization, maybe? Sure. We'll work on that. Unfortunately, we're just really, really struggling to push them out of here. These guys canceled their Lend-Lease with us. I'm not super shocked about that. Okay. So, how is this escalation going? It's just level 6. Okay. International Brigades focus unlocked. Hang on. Where is that? Well, let's just search for it. Brigades. Over here. Okay. So this stuff is in Rally Around the Emperor. Good to know. We should probably swap over to that then. Yeah, we need to cancel this one for the moment. And we will Rally Around the Emperor. Cool. So there we go. We'll work on that. So now that I know that that's in that direction, we should definitely go that way instead of going down here. That would be an optimization to make later. So this is down boarding the train. Okay. Good to know. How are things looking up over here? Grim is the answer. We're expecting it to last for another 20-some days. So, are there any, like, addressing the League of Nations here? Italy gets event resistance in Ethiopia. Interesting. Well, hello, the Ferengi. Cool. I assume they're going to have some rules of acquisition. Fantastic. So we can strengthen the Black Lions for resistance targets in enemy-occupied states in southern Ethiopia, and then reclaiming Ethiopia here. Gotcha. Okay, so that's a much better path, I think. I still want to start with this to be able to hold them off better. Man, we really need some additional defenses up here. I really don't want to be retreating here. Lack of troops is definitely an issue, though. So I think we've learned some interesting things from this particular run-through. So let's try that another time here. What is this playthrough overview? Oh, okay. Interesting. Let's go ahead and try this again. As I said, there would be multiple restarts. So let's head back over here, and now that I know that pathway, I think this is going to go a little bit better. So let's try that again. We're going to hop back into Ethiopia here. We could, you know, go down to, like, civilian, but no. We're sticking on regular for the moment. We're not going with historical focuses. It doesn't really matter. This war happens no matter what. So I think that one thing I would like to alter. First things first, we take the second Italo Ethiopian War to help boost up our defenses. Then we're going to take these guys, form an army out of them, but I'm going to move 2 of these irregulars, and they're going to start heading down this way. That's a slight alteration that we're making, and we're just going to assign to this front line. We're going to assign in our mountain commander, this guy. Although, if we're going to remove irregulars, we may still be better off putting in this guy for that infantry division defense. That will not help our irregulars. So I think overall we're still better off with the mountain division guy. So we'll go ahead and do that. Now everything down here, we'll go ahead and add into this army. There we go. We'll put in a front line here. Assign everyone in this army to this front line. Okay. So we're just going to be a little bit stronger in the south, a little bit weaker in the north. We definitely want to grab support weapons 1. And honestly, I think weapons 1 is the way to go from here. We definitely need to use our single civilian factory to trade steel with France. That's the only real option there. And there's not really anything that we can do with these guys right away, although I'd like to do something with them. Okay, we're going to bump up to speed 4, and that should be fine. Cool. So we're going to immediately start to lose on this front. This is expected. All we need to do is slow this down. So looking at this, there's the Christmas offensive, which will finish in 10 days. And they're going to lose their breakthrough bonus. So that will be good. Now, another thing I'd like to do, but we really can't get away with, is I'd like to train up our irregulars here. So, I mean, we can add all of them to the unit, to the units here. Unfortunately, we're just simply not going to get the infantry equipment for them. Like, this will do literally nothing. But I guess it's okay for now. So these guys down here, I want to put in our desert commander. There we go. And they're going to make their way over. It'll take them some time to get there, but that's okay. We're going to start crumbling in the north here. We may want to end up taking falling back this time. Perhaps. Yeah, that's potentially something that we can do. We'll think about it. It seems like the attack isn't really going to work. At least not in the current situation. So, I mean, we'll start working our way through this infantry equipment here, but really our infantry equipment is all going to our troops out here. We need a lot more infantry equipment than we can get. Hey, Soviet Union, do you want to give us any? No. Because they don't have any to give. Or at least they claim they don't. We'll see how realistic that is. Okay, so these guys immediately walk down here. Okay, we're currently just entrenching. And the attacks are happening in the north. We're going to get pushed back here for a bit. And this will be fine. I do think that these attacks here are not very useful for us, in all honesty. So we're probably going to take falling back this time. Because what we need to do is buy time to work our way through these things down here, get those land forts, and then move into addressing the League of Nations down this way, is what needs to happen. So we need time for that.
I'll get it.
And that's okay. We can fall back up here. They're not really looking to attack us on the southern front right now. Cool. If only we could scoop around and knock out their supplies. But I don't think that's very realistic here. This is about as short of a front as we're going to get. Although this would be the exact same front. But I think that we just dig in here and entrench up. Okay. So that'll be fine for the moment. And this will finish up when? 32 days. So we currently need to hold the south and hold the north for 6 months. That's the mission. So we're attempting to hold. And we'll hold as best we can. But there's the second Italo Ethiopian War. There we go. And we're going to grab falling back here this time. Let's see how that goes. That should slow down the Italians. Quite a bit, in fact. I only saw that event to give us one more military factory the once. But we could come over here and just add an infrastructure. That's not bad. We'll go ahead and do that. Cool. Okay, so we're going to move in an irregular, like so. And hope that we hold this front. Now, we can always have these guys last stand, but the unit leader is currently sick, which is very unfortunate. When will he recover? Does it say when he's going to recover? No. Do we have someone else that can fill this role? Hills isn't very useful. Not really, to be honest. Okay. So we're sending an irregular force up. That'll be fine. Interesting. And yeah, you can see here just no infantry equipment coming in here. So that's what we really need at this point, is a source of infantry equipment. Now, I'm thinking that the League of Nations stuff might give us some of that. Arms purchases here. That could maybe help. But yes, this is definitely what we need to work on. Cool. So we're currently losing over here. We expect to get pushed back here and there. Is one of these units making its way up here still? Yeah, kind of. Kind of. We're going to finish up falling back in a few days here. Okay. So that'll be fine. I want to move these Alpine units in here. That'll be very helpful in helping us hold the north. Cool. Now this is, of course, a problem. Unfortunately, these guys aren't actually traveling. Let's send them over. There we go. So there's an irregular unit heading over there. It'll arrive shortly, I hope. Okay. And both of you head in here. Cool. So there's falling back done. And what does that do for us again? It gives us... Well, it gives the Italian units a penalty. Anyway. So we can go for either the Hindenburg Wall, Dire Dawa, and Harar. Harar and Dire Dawa. I mean, that's okay, I guess. Or we could get 4 land forts in Shua. So 4 land forts out over this way. Or 2 or 4 over here. Doesn't really matter, is the question. Does that really matter? That would move our capital to be... Where would that move our capital to be? Like out here? Yeah, out here. Okay. I guess that's reasonably okay. Let's go ahead and grab the defense of Addis Ababa then. Sure. Germany is embroiled in a civil war. To be expected. Turkey has remilitarized the Turkish Straits. And we're not going to be able to get those mercenaries going this route. But that's fine. So 70 days on the defense of Addis Ababa. And then 35 on a last stand. 59 days on hold the north. Okay. So far, so good. Our lines are holding. For the moment. For the moment. We definitely need time to work through all of this. But this is only 60 days that the Italians are getting a penalty. Which is a little unfortunate. I would have liked that to be, you know, perpetual or something like that. But no, it's only 60 days. So that'll be gone before we get these forts in Addis Ababa built. But I mean, 2 land forts there are going to make it a lot harder for the Italians to take that over. So that's absolutely great. All we're trying to do here is delay them as much as possible. I do think that we should not do a last stand here at this exact moment. Maybe soon, though. No, not you guys. There we go. Hello, Harley. We are being destroyed by Italy and attempting to not be destroyed by Italy. We'll see how that ends up going. So we managed to hold this location. Cool. At least for the time being, we held this location. They're not actually attacking over here. So this is good. This is much less good. Get in here, guys. We have 13 days before they push in over here. Okay, that should be fine-ish. In theory. So this will be done in 43 days. That's quite a while. In retrospect, maybe I should have delayed the defense of Addis Ababa and rallied around the Emperor first. Because we could get these two done in 35 days. And then address the League of Nations down to arms purchases. Potentially. Potentially. Come on over here. And as far as this goes, I think we're going to hold here. I think so. So that should be good. This over here is much less likely to hold if the AI keeps trying to send troops down here. So we'll see about reinforcing that a bit. Japanese Young Officer Corps, sure. Keep coming back here. We need to hold that. They're not actually continuing their attack. Fascinating. Okay, checking in on the north here. Once again, we're just struggling to hold that. Okay. I mean, their better tech and better supplies makes that very complicated. We need to hold the north and south for another 24 days. Cool. We might send in these irregulars to go reinforce over this way. Otherwise, this is looking okay. The south is looking reasonably strong. The north is holding. 15 days at this point. Okay, the north is maybe not holding. Maybe. We'll see. I'm going to keep pouring irregulars in over here. I would rather not lose this location if we can at all help it. Okay. The south is looking good. Both of you over here. I don't think they're going to be able to keep up this attack. All of you over here. There we go. Cool. So, another 15 days for the defense of Addis Ababa, and we only need to hold the north for a little while longer. We can now request embargoes, and our international reputation has grown. So, we can focus request embargo, which is here. Okay. We're not going to grab a last stand yet. We're going to grab rally around the Emperor. Boy, these guys are taking a long time to move in here. Okay. Cool. I'm going to let this be for the moment. We may get knocked back here, but if so, that's okay. It's only 5 more days that we need to hold the north and south. And the south is holding pretty well, in all honesty. I'm going to move this irregular force over to reinforce. Cool. I don't want to attack here. Don't attack here. Just dig in. Hold these positions. Fantastic. Italy moved to annex the Sultanate of Ausa. That is expected. And at this point, we want to talk to them. We want to... Oh, they haven't actually declared yet. We'll hold off. So this is a little bit problematic here. We probably need to move in an irregular force over this way. They submitted. Oof. That makes things a lot harder for us. A whole lot harder. But there's the defense of Addis Ababa done. So now we're going to rally around the Emperor. Cool. So we've held the south, held the north. War escalation level is now level 5. Hello, Tino. So this is going to be a problem. The question is, what can we do about it? Yeah, see, they're just heading down here immediately, and they're just going to walk straight to Addis Ababa if we let them. So we need to have this unit come over this way. Like, that is of vital importance right now. These guys are tied down for the moment. Okay. This guy's not moving in. He definitely could. Have I played as Communist USA? No, I haven't. I know it's possible, but I haven't. Okay. Come on over here. There you go. Fantastic. Now, we need to hold these locations, of course. So, what do we have going on for our decisions here? Just gradual war escalation for the moment. That's fine. Oh! Looks like OBS is starting to freak out. I may have to restart the stream here. I don't know why it does this, but it very much does. Okay. Are we recovering? Maybe. I think we're recovering. Stream restart may not be necessary. Cool. I'll keep an eye on it, but for now, we'll see. Okay. So, these guys just immediately capitulating is a huge, huge blow to us, actually. That's absolutely enormous. But at this point, we can start falling back. But I may switch over to something other than Ethiopia. I feel like at this point I have a decent understanding of the changes that they've made. It's a challenging start, there's no doubt about it. But the war escalation needs to come up, and you make your way down this tree and work your way down this way. And grab, like, reclaiming Ethiopia. So that would be the path that you take there. I'm not sure that we're going to get there. We can try. We'll see. We'll see how this ends up going. We're being pushed back in the south now, and this is fully expected that eventually we're going to get pushed back. The question is, how long can we hold off? And with these relentless attacks up here, it's tough, especially with Hausa just capitulating like that. Very, very sad. Okay. We do have some land forts back here, though, to help us hold off here and here. So we can retreat back to there eventually. And for the moment, we just don't want to let them take anything for free. That's our current primary goal, is just don't take things for free. We're going to rally around the Emperor for another 6 days. Okay. So we're going to be able to get a host country for a government in exile. Cool. So we're just going to fall back here and work our way down this tree. We're going to board the train, I think. Because, yeah, in order to address the League of Nations and go down this route, we have to board the train. That's the only way to go. So we'll go ahead and do so. We don't meet the requirements because we have not set our potential host country. So where do we do that? Decisions? Yes. I think that we will go for the UK because the UK has this territory right over here, given these options. So we'll await a response from the UK on that. They have agreed. Fantastic. So now we can grab boarding the train. There we go. So we'll be boarding the train for 35 days here, and we're just going to continue to slowly fall back and bleed out a little bit along these lines. And that's the way that this appears to be designed to play out. So that's fine. And yeah, we just don't have any of this manpower right now, but eventually, and I want to change where we're recruiting these at. I want to recruit these back over here. Eventually, we'll be able to get the arms for that, I think. Please don't attack. Thank you. Just defend. We're going to move these back to cautious here. I don't actually want that to be in an army group. It's okay. We don't need an army group for this. Cool. Interesting that we're not getting defense of Addis Ababa here, but okay. We're going to continue to try to defend as long as we can. And at this point, I think a last stand is a good call. And a last stand on this line as well. Cool. So that will help us defend for a while. 35 days to board the train, huh? So he's now going to the League of Nations. If Ethiopia surrenders, he'll form a government in exile. That's interesting. We'll see what ends up happening with that if that happens. Okay, so our last stand has faded up here. We're going to try another one to try to hold this line. As far as this goes, I'm going to toss an irregular here and here to try to hold this line. We don't want to get pushed back too far here because we will get a wider and wider line as this goes, which would not be great for us under any circumstances. So we'll have the train boarded in a week here. Okay. Hello, pause menu. Cool. We'll toss in some more defenses here. There we go. Okay. So we'll see if we end up winning this. I'm going to toss these guys in over here as well. And there's boarding the train done. I'm going to move these regulars over. Cool. And from here, we can address the League of Nations. And Italy is now going to lose some compliance, as well as getting resistance in Ethiopia as an event. Okay. Now, unfortunately, we were pushed back here. And that widens this line tremendously. That's pretty bad for us. We may end up having to do a pretty large withdrawal here to shorten this line back down. Luckily, these guys aren't trying to move in and cut us off. I would be pushing directly for here to try to encircle all of these forces. They didn't do that, so that's good. Hello, pause menu again. Okay, we no longer get the temporary morale boost. And it's going to take us 70 days to address the League of Nations. So we'll see what happens with that. We did lose a unit up here. I'm going to go ahead and pull this unit back. This is something that we can definitely afford to lose, to shorten our line a bit. No, get back here. The AI is just like, no, I want that. No, we're giving this up. Deliberately. Very deliberately. There we go. No, don't attack. Well, actually, no, don't attack. Okay, so with our line shortened, we should be able to hold this for a little bit. Cool. We need to hold Addis Ababa now for another 160 days, which we will definitely look to do. This over here is not looking so great. We're going to head in and try to hold that. Are they going to actually attack here? Yes, they did take it. Okay. Well, that's okay. We're just going to continue withdrawing in these areas. We need to buy time for this stuff to get done. We can also do a balance of power thing here. Oh, this would get us a unit of irregular infantry. We'll definitely do that. How long does that take? 2 days. Cool. Excellent. So that'll get us a unit of irregular infantry that we can toss in up here. Fantastic. So we're addressing the League of Nations here, and that'll be done in, well, a while. A while. 45 days. They're trying to push us back over here. They're starting to hit tougher territory. So that's definitely a bit of a problem for them. But we just need to continue to fall back where we can.
Look at you.
This is definitely going to be a withdrawal. And if that's the case, we should probably withdraw from Gondar as well.
Koi.
So let's go ahead and withdraw here. Actually, the AI is thinking that maybe we can win this. We'll see.
Look at you.
We'll see if this Alpine unit turns it around. That's a hard maybe. Okay. Fantastic. This, on the other hand, not so great. But this is to be expected, so that's completely fine. Okay. We're backing off here. I don't necessarily want to attack here. This bulge is bad for us. There's infantry equipment and support weapons finishing up. Okay, so that's all well and good, but the question is it too late? The answer is probably. We can grab these even though they're ahead of time. What else is going to actually be any good for us, right? And we can start immediately producing infantry equipment more. It's going to be rough. But that is what arms purchases is going to be for. So that's fine. We definitely want to withdraw here to shorten this line. That's for sure. Okay. Otherwise, this is looking okay for the moment. We've definitely made them pay for this, and it's been a pretty long grind for them. No doubt about that. I mean, sure, they've lost half of the troops we have, but that's to be expected given the, training differential, right? We have mostly irregulars, and they're well-supplied regular troops. Italian well-supplied regular troops, but well-supplied regular troops nevertheless, in comparison to us. So we've withdrawn from this position here. I'm noticing a complete gap in our defenses over this way. Looks like we're already moving to address that. So for the moment, that's okay. Yeah, we get pushed out over here. That's to be expected. We're going to continue to hold in Gondar for the moment. They can't really push in and cut us off like this because of this lake here. So we'll be able to withdraw this direction. That's reasonably safe. Okay. We're holding this position for the moment. So we're currently addressing the League of Nations. And that'll be done in 8 days. And we're currently chastising them, telling them that it's us today, but it will be them tomorrow. So I'm okay with retreating this way. That'll further shorten our front line here. And that's good. We really want our front line shortened. Okay. So this is kind of irrelevant. I guess we can push them out of here, but it doesn't matter. We're not going to do that right now. Cool. So we're continuing to hold in Gondar for the time being. And we need to hold Addis Ababa for another 107 days. Now, we finished up addressing the League of Nations. Next up, we're going to go for arms purchases. I think. Strengthen the Black Lion's continuous focus. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. For now, let's grab arms purchases. Because we're going to need all of the arms we can get our hands on. So that'll be great. That will be done in 35 days. Cool. So they're going to wrap around over this direction and continue to push us back. For the time being, that's fine. We know that they're going to continue to do this.
Look at you.
Okay. Just checking on that. Interesting that they haven't grabbed this. They will eventually, I'm sure. Yeah, there they go. Cool. So this is, of course, an issue. We are sending reinforcements over already. Because I was going to say, we don't need this many here. That's pretty clear. Okay. 97 days to hold Addis Ababa. Arms purchases will be done in about 24. We're still holding in Gondar, shockingly. No, I think that's really good. We bought a lot of time up here. But we're going to have to pull back on that pretty soon. The Spanish Civil War has begun. This we're going to fall back from. Sadly. Is there a connection here? I'm not sure if that's connected or not. If so, that's a bit of a yikes. Okay. So at this point, we should fall back from Gondar. We are out of there. And that will be somewhat shortening our front line. Not really shortening it, but we're pulling back. I don't know who's going back up there, but probably don't. Okay. So we're now in the location with land forts, right? So things are going to get a lot tougher for them to push forward up this way. And arms purchases will be done soon. Very soon. How are we doing on our production efficiency? Production. There we go. Production efficiency. It could definitely use improvement, but we're getting better. Cool. So for the moment, we're holding. The question is, for how long? Yeah, we get pushed back there. That's to be expected. Okay, arms purchases will be done in 2 days. That's great. Absolutely great. So there's that done. Next up, we can do requesting embargoes. And we can close the Suez as well, which would be a good thing for us as well. Absolutely great. So let's work our way down over there. And the question is, how can we purchase arms? Ah. So that'll cost 20% of our consumer goods factories for 30 days. And at the end, it'll give us 2,000 units of French small arms. Okay. So that'll stop our steel trade with France. That's to be expected. But that will work through about 1/5 of our deficit here. So that's pretty good. Like, keep in mind, we're currently primarily fighting them with spears and swords. And they're having a bit of a hard time fighting us with spears and swords. So that's good. Now, if we were to retreat over here, we could combine our fronts. I don't think I want to do that unless we absolutely have to, though. I'm going to send an irregular force over here. And that'll be fine. And hopefully some of those small arms will go to these levies. We'll see. The United Mexican States declared war on Mexico. Spicy. Okay, so 18 days until our small arms arrive. And we need to hold Addis Ababa for 60 more days. Which I think is super doable. Absolutely doable. Especially with those small arms coming in. If we can get a shipment of 2,000 small arms every 30 days, I don't know if there's a cooldown on it, but if we can do that every 30 days, that's going to be huge. Absolutely huge. Compared to our production, which we were getting like 5 per day, so 5 times 30, yeah, it's like 150 small arms. This is so worthwhile for us to make that trade. Falling back here isn't awful. So we don't hate that. For the moment, this seems to be largely okay. Largely okay. 8 days until our shipment arrives. Yeah, we do fall back here. That's to be expected. We're not going to bother attacking. This is currently completely okay. This is maybe a little less okay. We could send a unit of irregulars over to help out with that. And my question is, we already have our manpower allocated here. So all we need here is 480 infantry equipment for each of these. Is that going to go compared to deployment queue and reinforcements? Okay. Noted. So 5,000 of this, about half, is needed for reinforcements. The other half is needed for upgrades. Sounds good. Oh, our purchase arrived, I think. It finished up there. Let's check our logistics here. Yeah, I think it did arrive. Yeah, it definitely arrived. So that's good. I would like to get another one going here. Can we only do that once, or is there a cooldown on it? There's also this desperate defense here that we can definitely run. And let's go ahead and do that. Oh, whoa, hang on. What just happened? Whoa, hang on a moment. Okay, so we requested an embargo. The Fourth International happened, and Italy entered a civil war. That's really awkward. Okay, so the Italian Union troops here. Are we at... Hang on. What is actually happening here? What is the war status? The Italian Union is on our side. Okay, that's wild. Okay. We're going to take this opportunity to push over like so. And to push over like so. Now, if Italian Union gives us this territory, that'd be great. We'll see if it actually does. There's reclaiming Ethiopia bypassed. Anti-Italian propaganda bypassed as well. The Italian Union wants a non-aggression pact. This is really weird. We can no longer close the Suez because that technically ended that war. Interesting. So I guess we should probably... Our options are very limited, actually. We could take the Abuna. I guess we may as well. And we're going to start going in here. It looks like there are no actual Italian troops here. Now this is under Italian Union occupation. And these guys are the ones we're at war with. Not the Italian Union. Got it. Okay. Weirdness is occurring. So we're going to get rid of these lines here. We're going to put in... Oh, that's really weird. Why did it frontline like that? Okay. Let's try this again. There we go. And we're going to offensive line like so. Now, I believe that Italy has no troops over here. I believe that only the Italian Union has troops. There are some troops, I guess. Interesting. I want this naval base, though. Things just got really weird. There's no doubt about that. So we do see some Italian troops here, but if we take this naval base, it's pretty over for them in the north. Got it. Okay. So, unfortunately, some of this is going to the Italian Union. We have it cored. We might be able to take that in the peace deal. So I'm going to delete this. And we're now going to offensive line like so. Okay. As far as this down here goes, awkwardness is ensuing. Okay. Well, offensive line like that. Okay. And in we go. So we'll see about the peace deal here. This is wild. Absolutely wild. I'm going to start building our civilian factory at this point. I think there's no reason not to. Yeah, that event went away, so yeah, absolutely. Weird. Very, very weird. Well, we're just going to take all of this, and the question is, how are they doing up here? Honestly, not that great probably, but we'll see once they're freed up in the south down here, which won't be that long. Okay, so we can see that the Italians have access still to this naval base. So we're going to need to stop them there. I want to push basically everyone that we have here down to this naval base. Cool. We take that naval base, and it's over for them in this section of Africa. They've still got this up here. But that'll be great. Well, this is one way to win the Italian War, the Italian Ethiopian War, but I don't think this is the correct way, the way I was really going for. So there's that. Okay. I actually want these guys to cut them off over here. Cool. And these cavalry are not going to last very long. They're completely out of supplies. They have no way to get supplies. Cool. So this battle is awkward, right? Very, very awkward. And I'm going to cancel these divisions. We're going to start training some regular divisions instead. I did not select the location. There we go. We're going to start training some regulars instead. We're going to train 2 divisions of them. Looks good. So these guys are on their way over. The Italians are going to get forced out of here pretty soon, but we need to get these irregulars over here. Cool. The Abuna has finished up. We can't take this yet. Wait. We're never going to be able to take this? Because we can't get international mediation at this point. That's unfortunate. Very unfortunate indeed. Well, it requires one of the following. We just have to control the states. Never mind, I was reading that very wrong. Very, very wrong indeed. So we're just going to continue attacking this cavalry division. And they have no supplies, so they will eventually lose. Eventually. These guys are retreating this direction. That's good. That's exactly what we want them to do. So let's go ahead and give these lads a force attack. Cool. The question is, how long will this battle last? The answer, approximately 1,000,000 years. Oh, we don't have a focus right now. We should probably get one. Let's go with, say... I'd love to grab Develop Shua, but we need our states to be controlled by us. So we're going to have to grab this one for now. Okay. There we go. This is now cut off. So these guys are trapped in here. They do have supply flow through this naval base in Somaliland. How is the war going up here? Hard to tell. Okay. Can you guys just finish off this cavalry unit, please? They're going to hold off forever, apparently. Cool. So we can see here that they have now moved out over this way. Yeah, this is fine, I guess. We'll go grab this territory. We'll see what we manage to get out of this peace deal. Unfortunately, we only got 28% war participation. That's sad. Okay, so these guys are currently attacking us, trying to break out. That's a little hilarious. They're just wasting their supplies here. Cool. Now, I do see a unit walking this way. So we're going to come back over here and look to stop those cavalry units. Perfect. I want everybody attacking over here if they can. They can't currently because we're currently still defending from their attack. That'll be done momentarily here. Okay. Get in here, everybody. Wow, they really don't want to attack here, do they? Okay. We're going to give them force attack. Cool. So these guys have no supplies here, right? None at all. The German Reich was annexed. We can move these guys down. Fantastic. And we can replace this guy with the Desert Leader. There we go. We can stop this attack, I suppose. Well, actually, we're force attacking, so I don't think we can stop for the moment. But these guys will run out of supplies very soon. So that's good. We're now up to 33% war participation. Okay. And let's go ahead and take attack. That'll be fine. Cool. So we need to continue working our way down this way, right? We could simply establish the University of Addis Ababa to get more speedy research. I think that'll be okay. No problem whatsoever there. Cool. So let's just hold off on this attack for the moment. We are bringing additional forces down, and they'll arrive here soon enough. We really don't need 10 divisions on this. Let's select everyone except this unit, and we're going to assign them here, with an offensive line of just pushing in like so. There we go. Cool. So that will be absolutely fine. Only one division up here, but honestly, I think that the Italian socialists are going to go up there and grab that. I think they're already there, so that shouldn't be a problem. The question is, will the Italian Union get crushed up here or not? These guys are fascist. These guys are communist. Okay. Got it. Well, we'll see. Interesting. So we're going to push them back here. That's pretty clear. They don't really have any way out of this. Are we moving all of our troops out of Mogadishu? I would rather not. Let's leave this guy here for the moment. You can just support the... No, stop. You can just support the attack. There you go. Cool. So that'll be fine. So we'll push in here. And here's the question. What do we need for them to capitulate? The answer is a whole lot. The obvious way that we were supposed to end this war was via the international mediation. where the League of Nations would demand peace. That was the plan. But currently, that's not apparently going to happen due to this Italian Civil War. But we can push in here. And we can see that they have basically no supplies left, right? So they will eventually all lose here. They have no way to gain supplies either. So everybody come on in. Absolutely everybody. These guys are all going to get stack wiped. There's nothing they can do about it at this point. Definitely feels cheesy, but that's one way to win the Ethiopian War, I suppose. Definitely not the way we were going for. The next question is, can we get up here? The answer is yeah, we can. Black shirts are organizing in the UK. Cool. So how many divisions does Mussolini have at this point? 14 to 44. So this is a solid chunk of his army that he's losing here. Cool. That was at least 10 divisions that were wiped here, plus another at least probably 5 up here. So I would argue that he just had like 15 divisions wiped, or a solid third of his army. Now we can come up this way at this point, and we can frontline here and bring the fight to Italy. With the idea of being offensive lining something like this to have a nice short front line. So they're going to head up there. I don't think that he's going to have the capacity to land down here again. We'll see. I'm going to bump it up to speed 5 at this point. And we're going to head on over. So this factory is going to take approximately... Oh, wow. Look at how long that's going to take to make. We need to get rid of that corrupt bureaucracy, and our civilian economy is a bit of a problem, too. We could go up to war economy right now. Let's go ahead and do that. And we could also go on to, like, limited exports. That will help on its own by a lot. Yeah, a whole lot. Now, that corrupt bureaucracy, how can we get rid of that? I believe that's probably a focus here. State Bank of Ethiopia. Yeah, that modifies the corrupt bureaucracy there. We can't go down this route, though, because we need to control all of our own states. Which, unfortunately, these guys didn't give to us. They would not accept military access right now. Let's try just improving relations with them. And then offering them military access will, I think, return control of these states to us. So that'll be great. Do we have no way to get up here? Oh, we only have enough transports to move like 2 units at a time, don't we? Yeah, we have 3 convoys right now. That's our core problem there. University of Addis Ababa finishes up, and we can modify our corrupt bureaucracy here, so that would be nice. We'll go ahead and improve the administration. Hindenburg incident, interventionist from the United States. Cool. Okay. We could bolster spirits. That'll be fine for now. Okay. So it'll take a while for our troops to make their way up here. That's for sure. But we'll help out. It looks like the Italian Union may be losing this. I think we're not going to do this. What does the Italian Union have here? 12 to 39 versus 14 to 37? Actually, that's comparable. What do they have for production? Basically, none of the production is up here. So yeah, I think we're going to return home. And we are going to look to do an area defense. Here, here, and here. Like that. There we go. So we'll area defense that. Did I add that? I believe I did. Let's not add that one. Okay. Just these coasts for the moment. We want to prevent Italy from landing on the coasts, and then once the Italian Union falls, we should be able to grab all of this, and I wonder if we're going to be back in the Ethiopian War. We'll see. We have no convoys to get these guys back, and we're not making any, of course. We have no shipyards, so we don't really have a way to do that. We could try to lend-lease some convoys from these guys. They don't have any available for export. Okay, we could try to lend-lease some from France, or the Soviets. They will not give us any convoys. So these guys, I think, we're just going to split off into a new army. I just didn't even think about the fact that we wouldn't have any convoys. We'll split them off over here, and we'll just try to hold the line a little bit. Oh, there's a civil war in the British Empire, too. Oh, okay. Cool. So we'll try to help them out a little bit up here, but we're mostly just going to hold these positions. Cool. Well, that's definitely very awkward. No doubt about it. There's just a bunch of awkwardness going on. That said, if we were to take Genova... But it's not going to happen, I don't think. Oh, we just got surrounded. They completely abandoned this part of the line. I didn't even notice that. Well, these guys are going to get stack wiped. And that's what we get for trying to help our friends here. It's okay. It's okay. The Italians are actually going to be very hard-pressed to make landfall over here at this point. Very hard-pressed indeed. Now, logistics out here are grim. And I would be doing something about that, but we kind of can't. We kind of can't. Well, there's Improve the Administration finishing up. Is the U.S. in a faction? No, they're currently neutral. Okay. Just wanted to check that. We're going to grab the Addis Ababa School of Technology to get ourselves a research slot. That'll be fine. Cool. So, obviously, we lost a unit up here. That was to be expected. And this is just an irregular unit, so we're not too concerned about that. It looks like the Italian Union is basically done, right? I think. Okay. Yeah, these must be those new achievements that they were talking about. Interesting. Not sure what's going on with that. But we currently only have the one division here, and it's not going to last very long. Cool. So that's going to get eliminated. But we helped, or tried to help. The Italian Union is definitely going to lose here. But I don't think that they're going to be able to get anything else over here. And if we can get control over all of this territory, that's absolutely huge. So we actually kind of want the Italian Union to fall here. That would be great. How is this war going? They're currently 55% towards capitulation. And we're going to get back all of our capitulation here. So that'll be fine. And look at all of these troops that the Italians lost. That's very fancy. Oh, there's 4 Spains now. Cool. You've got Spain, you've got Spain, you've got Spain, you've got Spain, and you've got not Spain. Perfect. Shockingly, they haven't eliminated our irregular troop yet. That is pretty shocking to me, but the Italian Union will capitulate fairly soon, I hope. Okay, there's the Addis Ababa School of Technology. Yeah, they're definitely losing troops. So we are certainly going to grab... Capture ratio modifier is pretty good, actually. We can grab that for the moment. Because of this very awkward civil war, we're currently stuck in a lot of our progression in the tree. But for the moment, that's reasonably okay. Let's go ahead and grab basic machine tools for now to get caught up a bit on that, so that hopefully our production will accelerate a little bit. Country does need all the help it can get right now. Okay, so we got ourselves an additional unit of levies here, which we will assign to our Coast Guard that we've got going on here. Cool. Now, obviously, we're having a very hard time getting logistics down over here. That's for sure. Would the Italian Union now offer military access? No, they're just not interested. Okay, good to know. Well, they will get crushed eventually, I think. Pretty sure that they just can't produce enough. Yeah, they're going to get crushed eventually. For sure. It'll just take a little bit of time up here, so we'll let that happen for a bit. Looks like the British Empire is going to beat the United Kingdom. Okay, so we've got that excellent British fascism going on. What's the US up to? Yeah, they're just chilling. Okay. So for the moment, we could grab the Ethiopia Air Force. Why not? No reason not to. Cool. So we're just kind of waiting on the Italian Civil War to end here. That's kind of all we're doing. The Mexican Civil War is over. They still haven't killed our single irregular troop. I like it. How are we doing on our recruitments? Getting better. And yeah, we can see they're definitely pushing in here. The UK was annexed. The Civil War in the UK is over. How's France doing? Okay. Looks good. We're helping hold the line over here. Not that this matters, for the record. I really hope that that was just the end of this war. That's going to be it. I mean, they're going to capitulate, and then Italy is going to come after us, is the way that that's going to work. And without being able to do a negotiated peace, were we completely screwed by that? Maybe. Because this is not technically the Second Italo Ethiopian War, and we don't have the war escalation anymore either. So the question is, did this civil war, while saving us over here, completely screw us in the long term? It's a possibility. I don't know. Hello, Poku and Good Builder. We'll find out. It kind of depends on what happens when this finishes up. Goodbye, Good Builder. So there's our improved infantry weapons. Fantastic. The Ethiopian Air Force is also finished and another civil war in the Soviet Union. Cool. Okay. So at this point, this is getting pretty far ahead of time, right? So we should probably consider grabbing, like, artillery. And maybe some armor, but honestly, I think interwar airframes are the way to go. We haven't really experimented with the new air systems yet, so that's definitely something that we can do. As far as our focus here goes, it's a little awkward. A little awkward, to be sure. There's only so much we can actually do. Specifically, we can copy plane designs. which we'll go ahead and do. That'll create a couple of variants. Not that we have the factories to build them. Okay, Spain was annexed. Wow. Aragon really got a lot there. That's exciting. I keep hoping that this war will end soon, and then we'll be able to figure out what's going on. I'm pretty sure that what's going to happen here is we're going to be at war with Mussolini's Italy, and we'll be able to take this stuff back and get a lot of our work done. But we're not going to have a good way to get out of that war with Italy. I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen here. Not sure what Britain's working on. Canada is seeking immediate patriation. Okay. Good for you, Canada. Canada is now independent. So that's absolutely fine. Yeah, we're definitely seeing the Italian Union collapse here. Now, they do have a couple of victory points over here, I believe. Actually, we control these, but they control these 3, 4, 5, 6 victory points. Over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 11 victory points for the Italian Union down here. Will it be enough for them to take this territory? I hope so. Okay, so we can get a technology researched here. We'll grab improved machine tools to get more production efficiency. This is grim. This is very grim. No doubt about that. So there's our plane designs copied. And now we can get ourselves some additional air experience, I suppose. Wilhelm II has returned to the German Empire. So Germany is probably going to stop chilling and start attacking soon. How much more could they possibly have? The Italian Union, I mean. 7 to 38 versus 10 to 34. Interesting. But in terms of military factories, I keep coming back to that. 11 to 18 versus 3 to 5. There's not a lot that they can do there. They're definitely losing ground here. Base stability? Yes, please. That'll be absolutely great. We could instigate a palace coup and go democratic. This guy would be the one to coup himself, if I'm reading that tooltip correctly. Okay. This I gotta see. Having gathered support from the middle class and peasantry of Ethiopia, Ras Imru Haile Selassie, I imagine I butchered that, announced... Okay, so this is a different guy. Got it. Got it. And the introduction of general elections in Ethiopia. Generally regarded by the people, and even more importantly in this case, the Italian army, as a true hero in the Second Italo Ethiopian War, he's managed to secure the loyalty of the military, and support for the absent emperor has failed to materialize. So we could either go constitutional monarchy, or I think this is a pure democracy here. Yes. We're going to go for a constitutional monarchy. Cool. Well, this does not look like the same person at all. Okay. So we've got a new constitutional monarchy. And that's great. So we're now democratic. The United States should probably like that quite a bit. They're okay with it anyway. So, what's going on in Italy? Definite progress for Mussolini. That's great. We're very, very pleased about this. We do want the Italian Union to fall here. They're currently 41% of victory points and will capitulate when they have 20% or less. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if that's enough. I really don't know if that's enough. They're having a tough time dislodging this area, but they'll get it eventually. It's cut off from supplies, so that's not great for them. Okay. So we are currently attempting to fill these reinforcement supplies. Bulgaria has approached the German Empire, and I want to check in on our logistics here. 2.4. Okay. Well, we can definitely do Ethiopian officers or bring in foreign advisors. We'll do Ethiopian officers for the moment. Cool. Oh, we're the Federation of Ethiopia now. Interesting. So, I mean, we're definitely going to get eliminated out of here soon, right? That's for sure. Our unit is retreating. And it's not going to last too much longer. It's got a lot of supplies still, though. Are the supplies flowing in through Switzerland? No, there's just no supply connection there, I don't think. It might be coming around this way, actually. Maybe. But how could our supplies be getting there with no convoy? So I don't think that's happening. Okay. Man, this is so slow. We're working on it. We are working on it. So we could definitely, like, ban communism and fascism. It's an option. I don't know how great of one it is. We'll go ahead and get some war support. Hey, an unassigned division at long last. Cool. We'll assign him up there. And this is just not going so well over here. That's good. We want this to not be going well. Although I would have hoped that the Italians would have finished off the Italian Union by now. Sadly, they seem to be very bad at that. Well, they're kind of very bad at finishing off anything, now that I mention it. But yeah, I think that the Italian Union might have enough victory points down here that they stole from us, I might add, that they won't actually capitulate from this, I think. So we need to... Oh, offer military access. They'll accept this. Perfect. So now they give us back all of these locations, which is much better. So that means that we can start doing some other things, now that we have all of our original states back. So, the Soviet Union was just annexed by the Union of Soviet Republics. Okay, sure. Ethiopian officers will be done right now. There's the end of the Soviet Civil War. Perfect. Now we can come down and rebuild the country. So we'll go ahead and take that. That'll be great. So we have all of our territory back. The League of Nations is now over, because the British Empire declared on Ireland. Okay. That's not super shocking. The dawn of the Europe Confederacy. That is the UK's faction. Okay, interesting. So, I mean, we could try to yoink this territory over here, but there isn't really a faction that we can join to protect us, is the thing. And the British are down here as well, and, you know, over here. So it would be problematic for us to do that right now, for sure. We could certainly grab Concentrated Industry 1. We already have that. What am I talking about? Construction 1. There we go. Towed Artillery research finishes up. Not that we have the factories to do anything with it, but we can grab interwar artillery next. So now the Italian Union has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 victory points down here. So we took back 5 from them. That's good. And I believe that they will have enough to capitulate here now. Eventually. Eventually. Greece has joined the Europe Confederacy after declaring war on Turkey. Okay. That's going to be real interesting. We'll see how that one plays out. Ireland has capitulated. No shockers there. We are continuing to hold out here. Remarkably. Absolutely remarkably. We don't know what's going on over here. But the Italians aren't really pushing in. I think that's pretty clear. There's another division finishing up. Oh. OBS just claimed it was disconnected. And it is reconnecting. Now it says the reconnection was successful. Okay. Well, things look stable. Let me know if they're not. Apparently the connection just had a hiccup, but looks good. Ah. The Soviet Union declared on Poland. Okay. Things are starting to get spicy. Rebuilding the country has now finished. And we can reconvene the parliament. Support the anti-colonialist resistance here. Or we can head over and start developing Shua. And I think that's the way to go here as we start to go down the State Bank of Ethiopia route. Cool. Our manpower is looking pretty good, actually. Surprisingly so. And we can also eventually get infrastructure built here, but I want to take a look. Man, just so little. Okay. I mean, eventually we're going to want this infrastructure built, but it's not necessarily a right now sort of thing. I missed one there. There we go. Cool. It's not a right now sort of thing. So that's fine. Cool. So we're just kind of chilling right now. And we also should be able to build a railway up over to Tigray, as well as building a railway down over this direction. The question is this something we want to do right now? The answer is probably not. And we've apparently got some strikes going on. We'll make propaganda heroes out of them. Cool. So that's okay. Man, they have to be so close to finishing off this force up here, right? They just can't do it. Oh, okay, there they go. Well, that's one way to do things. Cool. We're going to keep working on our airframes here for the time being. They stack wiped us, but not everything over there. So we don't really have eyes on what's going on over here, but we're no longer helping them. And that should be fine. We now see that these guys have a grand total of 6 to 28 versus 11 to 29. 9 to 31. Well, we know it's not 31. That's a fact. This is now stack wiped up here. So these guys are now going to be able to focus their efforts over this way, and that will be much, much better. How's Poland doing? Probably not so well. Yeah, I'm going to go with not so well. Well, good luck with that, Poland. We kind of can't help you. We're out in the middle of nowhere. Perfect. So let's take a quick look at the Italian Union here. They control 48% of victory points. and will capitulate when they have 20% or less. They're 64% towards capitulation. Interesting. Heroes 1 and all. So no more strikes. That's great. Apparently we failed to address the strike crisis. I don't think that's true, but whatever. Okay, so there we go. We probably want to get an infrastructure project. Let's get that going. Fantastic. And we just keep hoping that they get pushed in over here. They've got 4 victory points left here. So we'll see. Also, that Regional Defense Council of Aragon appears to be doing pretty well. We'll see who ends up winning that one. But man, these civil wars have been exciting. Mexican Socialist Republic appears to have won. The United States cannot be happy about that one. We don't really know what the US is up to. But there's another division finishing. So we're actually cruising through these pretty quickly then. That's great. We're making good progress there. We could definitely use some steel. But this is much more important. A new faction. Well, again, the US is probably unhappy about that one. I just keep hoping that the Italian Union is going to collapse here. They're just kind of not. But this is building us a lot of time to work up our troops out over here, right? So that's definitely a good thing. And ultimately, we're going to want to build a supply depot here, as well as one here, at the terminus of those new railways. So that will be a very, very long time. For sure. Just keep scrolling back up. Okay. We'll just try to grab it this way. Perfect. So it's going to take an incredibly long time to build these supply hubs. But there's our infrastructure projects finishing up. That gains us quite a lot of infrastructure. From here, we can expand the railway network. Oh, a level 1 railway from Shua to Tigray. Yes, we want that. That is basically the railway that we have built, or queued up rather, here. So let's go ahead and get rid of these. Maximalist Portugal declared war on Maximalist Portugal. Cool. Okay. Well, there's another civil war. Perfect. Lots of civil wars this game, no doubt about that. And we're working on transitioning from irregulars over to regular troops. One thing we could think about doing at this point is disbanding some of our... Or actually, we can't do that. We can make a decision to disband them here, but we have to be at peace or have less than 5 active levy divisions. So we can't currently do that. Okay. Well, let's see what this railway network ends up looking like. Interwar artillery has finished up. Okay, Germany is claiming Polish territory. Cool. We'll grab improved artillery for the moment. Okay. Now, one thing that we definitely want to do is we want to go into our regular troops, and we want to add in some support artillery. So we'll go ahead and do that. That does mean that we need artillery. So we're going to get some towed artillery being made. And that does mean that we have to cut our infantry equipment production in half. Which hurts. No doubt about that. But we're hoping that now we can get some industrialization going via this. Okay, that's ambitious. We're hoping that we can get some industrialization going via this stuff over here. So that's building slots. Production efficiency cap. Okay. I'm just wondering if we end up getting any actual factories from any of this. Because I'm not currently seeing any factory additions here. Sure, things that improve our factories. Ah, there's one. A civilian factory here. One. That's exciting. Well, there's our railway network expanded. Cool. So what are we going to grab next? Connecting the south? Unlocks decisions to improve independent or Ethiopian subject countries in the Horn of Africa and possibly integrate them. Interesting. But I think we're going to grab state-owned industry here for that local construction speed. So we'll get that underway. And how long now until this is done? Oh, look at that. We now have 4 construction civilian factories. I didn't even notice that we got extras, but apparently we did. Cool. Let's take a quick look at what our railway network looks like now. Okay, fair enough. We're going to be moving this supply depot then over to here. Cool. And I'm going to cancel this supply depot. Because we don't know what the south supply depot will look like. I think it'll be in this victory point, but I don't know that for a fact. So that's okay. Let's check in on Italy here. They've definitely made progress. Yeah. Or actually, no, this is not controlled by Benito Mussolini's Italy. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. Cool. Construction 1 finishes, and we definitely want to continue working on our construction speed. Our economy is in shambles, and we would very much like to make that be better. We're still a year away from completing this civilian factory, for the record. Okay. So we'll work on that. Industrialization is coming, but slowly. Fantastic. What else do we have going on here that we could do? We could reorganize the railway system, but we're not going to do that right now. We can modify our government, which isn't necessarily a bad idea. A railway company here. But what I really want... Let's see. Research speed isn't bad. Construction speed would be good. Very good, in fact. Infrastructure construction speed. This is just flat construction speed, so we're going to go with this guy, and this guy. Cool. So that's all good. We're on a war economy right now. We could drop to total mobilization. I don't think there's a huge reason to do that right now. We cannot replace this. Okay. We can add a theorist here. There's only the one option. May as well. We can put in a railway company as well. And we can put in some military specialists there too. Balance of power, localized education reforms. Yes, this looks good. 5% research speed. Let's go. Time is on our side. Cool, so our research speed is now at minus 22%. Beautiful. The Nationalists won. Okay, last time I checked, Aragon was definitely in charge, but apparently that has changed. Cool. State-owned industry done. Next up, probably increased factory output. Although, connecting the south is probably not a terrible idea either. That will add a supply hub in a province in Sadamo. Hang on, let's look at our supplies here as is. Okay, just checking. Supply hub down here. Got it. Okay, for the moment, that's okay. I'm not too concerned about that. I do want the Italian Union here to crumble a bit. It doesn't have much left. It really, really doesn't. Like, there's no way. Absolutely no way. Okay. So we're currently struggling to supply our reinforcements here, obviously. We're also currently struggling to build a civilian factory. I would like to build a couple of military factories out over here. And they would be at, like, this priority. Cool. So we now have 5 civilian factories. This is getting a lot better as we work our way through our focus here. So that's good. That did add 2 civilian factories. Fantastic. So it's getting better. It is improving. Now, if we can control this coastline over here, I'd love to fortify it with coastal forts if we have a chance. The Italians will definitely be back. There's no doubt about that. We can start producing improved artillery. And we can now grab ourselves... I think we're just going to grab weapons here. This one is still ahead of time, but I'm going to grab it regardless. We're very infantry focused right now. There's no doubt about that. And we're going to toss 2 factories here and 1 factory here. There we go. So we need to work on that. That's very, very clear. And the Italian Union is definitely going to lose here. They control 37 and will capitulate when they have 20% or less. I'm pretty sure losing Venezia and Trieste will definitely cause them to capitulate. Now, Poland is not doing so well. No shocker there. No shocker whatsoever. Okay. So we're going to be finishing up this factory now on 24 January 1940. So that's a big improvement. Let's take a look at where that railway went. Yeah, Warsaw fell. Okay, so this was expected. Cool. That was pretty much exactly where I thought it would put it. So next up, we could develop the Horn of Africa, but I'm going to hold off on that. We're going to grab increased factory output. Cool. So that will do some work there. What else can we do here? Not a whole lot. The balance of power, if currently stable. Indeed. We no longer get the effects from rebuilding the country. Okay. Well, we did definitely get some good progress out of that. It's now 21 February 1940. Looks good. I don't like that corrupt bureaucracy. We should definitely work our way out of that. Consumer goods factories minus 5%. Base stability and consumer goods factories reduction. Oh my, what was all that? Oh, okay. Romania has ceded Bessarabia. Sure. And the Soviet Union has claimed it. To be expected, in all honesty. That's completely fine. Italy is still attempting to grind away over here. We'll see how that plays out. Is it just me, or is that a very large Switzerland? And a very Austrian Switzerland. What's going on here, Switzerland? Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Regardless, this will fall pretty soon at this point. I'm pretty sure. Like, they can't have much left. They absolutely can't. So that's fine. Increased factory output. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and grab the State Bank of Ethiopia. I want that construction speed to be increased. Cool. Now that's spicy. The Mexican Socialist Republic declared war on the United States. Well, I wish them luck. The question is, how ready is the US for this? Okay. Very exciting indeed. The war is about to start here. And Germany is under attack. Fantastic. The dawn of the North American Entente. Hey, US. Can we join your faction? No, because we're already at war. Fair enough, but I'm going to improve relations with them anyway. Oh, they want us... They wouldn't let us ask to join the faction, but they're okay with us joining the faction if they ask us. We accept. And now, can we call them in here? Cannot be called due to a League of Nations non-interference resolution. But the League of Nations no longer exists. Okay. Sure, we'll join their war. Not that we're going to do anything. We're Ethiopia. We're going to sit here. That's what we're going to do. We're waiting for the Italian Union to crumble. That's what needs to happen here. Okay, so if we look at this... Yeah. The US is not in that war. Fascinating. Okay. Well, that's fine. Apparently, we're also on the side of the Europe Confederacy. Cool. No problem whatsoever there. Non-aggression pacts, we accept. I really hope that they push them out of Venice. China declared on the Japanese shogunate. Fantastic. Specifically these guys. I think they're going to get crushed. Okay. Well, if that's what they want to do, I'm not going to stop them. So we're going to get a civilian factory built here very soon. National focus has been bypassed. Cool. That was indeed integrated. Okay. We weren't at the bargaining table there. But that's the Somali Democratic Republic. And the Eritrean Democratic People's Republic. We were definitely not included in that bargaining table, but they must have just released them. They didn't give up. Wild. Did they capitulate? These guys are on our side, though, I believe. Oh, we're the People's Democratic Republic of Ethiopia now. When did that happen? Last I knew, we were the Federation of Ethiopia. Fantastic. We have exiled divisions, and at this point, we can't actually be over here unless we ask them for military access, which we will definitely do. Okay. And then we are going to... Because we don't want the Italians to make landfall here. That's all we want, is no Italian landfall. So we're going to bring our troops back. We're going to have to unexile them and then send them back out. But that's okay. Non-aggression pacts. We accept. Fantastic. Oh, now we can actually see these guys. So we can see what's going on here. But they don't matter anymore. Now that these are independent nations, Now we're interested in developing the Horn of Africa. Over here. Giving us the ability to possibly integrate these countries, which is something we definitely want to do. So that'll be great. Meanwhile, the Italians are still busy up here. There's the State Bank of Ethiopia finishing up. So next up, we're going to develop the Horn of Africa. Cool. So these guys are puppets of the Italian Union right now. Interesting. I wonder what'll happen when the Italian Union no longer exists. We'll see. That will happen eventually. For now, it's not really a thing. Cool. So how's our construction going? We've finished up our civilian factory. That's good. Construction 2 finishes as well. So let's go ahead and grab Construction 3. Because we definitely need to construct faster. So this will be done on 27 June 1940. Good. That is absolutely great. Our logistics have much improved. Poland capitulated. No shockers there. And eventually, I'd love to have a railroad coming down like this. Just to level 1 for the moment. But there we go. We'll queue that up. I'm not going to make that happen super fast. Okay. The Italians just can't push in here. Fascinating. Who's the German Empire fighting against? Oh, Britain. Okay, sure. That'll be fine. So I think at this point, we should probably consider grabbing, like, additional... We should grab some support equipment. Let's grab that for now. Cool. I want to see what this focus actually gives us. That'll be very interesting. Wait, we're a puppet? When did that happen? I'm so confused. Who is our... The Italian Union. How did that happen? That's insane. Okay, whatever. I guess we were puppeted at some point. Sure. So we could do bomb-proofing or rapid industrial expansion here. I think we're going to go for the latter. Actually, the former is probably better in the long term. It has that production efficiency cap, factory repair speed, and bomb vulnerability. We're going to be maxed out on our construction eventually, so we're going to go for the long-term play there. So we have potentially some decisions available over here. Okay. So we're now in the Italian Confederation, rather than in the US's faction. I have no idea how they made us into a puppet. I'll be honest. That's wild to me. Well, we could definitely make some infantry equipment too. Like, that was definitely something that was entirely outside of our control. But we weren't even conquered. I don't know how that one happened. Very strange. Well, we're going to start working up our production here. And that'll be fine. And this is just not falling. So I kind of feel like at this point, we've basically seen what we're going to see. Right? I'm kind of feeling that at this point. I mean, we can unify the Horn of Africa. That's a very long-term goal. There's potentially some things that we can work on over this way. I don't understand how we got puppeted. That's very strange. I think it had to do with these wars being moved around. Obviously, things went kind of haywire the moment that this Italian Civil War happened. Wow, look at Switzerland now. That's exciting. I have no idea how Switzerland is pulling that off either. What are you doing, Switzerland? Just blobbing up, I guess. Cool. So yeah, I think that's about what we're going to get done in this session. I don't think there's going to be too much more. I'm also kind of thinking about ending this stream around here. It's about a half hour early, but I think it's okay. This seems like a decent stopping point. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings. And a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including Casserole, JJ Gamer, ALS Gamer, Kentuin, Jensgram, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Video Games Are Not Real, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.